I found this bootleg action figure for only $16, so let's open it up and see if it's at least worth the $16. There's no way it can be as good as the real thing, right? Right? Oh no, we have a critical problem here. Hey everyone, so I've got an amazing figure right here, and how do I know it's amazing? Well, it says it on the box. But I missed out on this amazing Yamaguchi Agent Venom figure when it came out. Pretty sure he's all sold out everywhere, unfortunately. But luckily, in this day and age, if we miss out on something and we're broke, we can always find a bootleg. And that's what this is right here. If you want to find one of these guys, you can find them on AliExpress. There'll be a ton of different versions, most likely, but the $16 one I found is on there as well. So head to the link in the description. I've got that link down there as well. For a long time, I was so totally against bootleg figures. Until recently, I've been making these videos on them, and I've kind of opened up to them a lot. And I'm honestly kind of curious and kind of into them at this point, because they've just gotten so good, so good. And Amazing Yamaguchi is one of my favorite action figure lines. They are just known for their wild and incredible, crazy articulation. I'm curious to see bootleg Yamaguchi, what's gonna happen here. So let's open this guy up and check it out. So the box ended up being a little bit damaged on the way here. I got a feeling everything's gonna be looking good inside, so let's just pray. Hopefully it's still pretty good. So I've always been very fascinated with the character of Agent Venom. I just think of like, what if Deathstroke had the symbiote? Basically, a war veteran who's in a wheelchair, but when he's got the Venom stuff going on, he can move around and kick butt, like, and plus aesthetically, like, what an amazing character design. Like, Agent Venom is just a cool character, which is another reason why I was so bummed when I missed this guy. So happy to have this guy. Let's hope he's awesome. Okay. Here he is, out of the box. Everything was just fine. The box was damaged, but nothing turned out to be damaged inside the box. And at first glance, you're like, all right, he looks pretty good, right? He looks like an amazing Yamaguchi Agent Venom, but he's definitely got some bootleg stuff going on. And one of which was, it took me a while just to get him to stand. And similar to the Deadpool one I did recently, the feet have some issues moving around. If you look right about here, you can't really move those much at all. So moving him around, you really gotta put some pressure on there. And there he goes. He's standing up. So there's that. Remember, $16. $16. This just kind of just is there. This one seems to be going on pretty good, but this one is just like, hello. Hello there. This little thingy here. Yep. I'm sure this guy, if you gave him a little bit of love, you might really be able to make him a really amazing figure. Unfortunately, we've got some joint issues too. Joints are pretty loose. It's usually in the knees, huh? The most important part to keep a figure standing, it's always in the knees. Other than that, he looks pretty good. Some joints are moving pretty fine, you know, like up here. That articulation is very much Amazing Yamaguchi. Just like, look at that elbow. It is an Amazing Yamaguchi figure. It is. It's got all the DNA in it, with a couple of issues here and there. His head is also very wobbly. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's also a big blemish right there. It's almost as if this has been melted right there. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's a little bit not nice looking, but it is there. Actually, the more I mess with him, the more I'm able to get him to stand. So that's really good. Number one pro, the figure itself looks good. If you were to just look at this frame screen right here, you wouldn't be able to tell this is a bootleg. You know, he's got the overly exaggerated puffed up chest pose, and that looks good. His face actually looks quite great, to be honest. And I think all the other joints are actually pretty good besides the two I was having problems with. And yeah, there's some things here and there, but I think this is a pretty good bootleg overall. I'm not gonna go ahead and say that this is better than the real thing, because it's not. For $16, holy cannoli, it's amazing. And I really do believe he's got the DNA, really, of an Amazing Yamaguchi figure. He really does. Like, I'm gonna try and put him in one of those crazy poses that, like, you know, only a Yamaguchi figure could do. Okay, let me switch the hands, see how this goes. All right, very nice. And boom. All right, that is one of the poses that's on the box here. And he's standing up, he's looking good. I'm impressed. I did not think I was gonna be able to get poses like this because of some of the joint issues, but I've got it right here. The amount of pros versus cons, man, the pros are starting to outweigh them. That's pretty stinking cool. So articulation and posability is a check. Ka-ching. I'm impressed. Let's take a look at some of this accessories, because there's a lot. So number one right here is we've got this much more traditional Venom looking face, and this is a great addition because, you know, sometimes when the symbiote gets too strong, he turns way venomy and starts losing control. One thing, however, it does look like there's a little bit of not so great paint on the eyes. This I'm sure could be fixed, but it's not the best. There's a little bit of, you know, just overlap. You can tell the paint was supposed to go here, but it's a little shifted to the right, if you know what I mean. But it is cool that this exists. Okay, let's pop the head off. Okay, here we go. Jeez, this is... Ugh. Oh! Oh no. Oh no. We have a critical problem here. Jeez. So upon changing the head, the neck joint broke. I'm not gonna really be able to do much more without this, can I? You know what, it comes with extra joints, but not this joint. This is a bootleg. It was $16. That right there, you have to be aware of what you're getting yourself into there. I'm not gonna not recommend this figure. I really am not, even though this is critical, because it's so cheap for all of this stuff. Get this figure, but if you're gonna switch the head out, just heat them up. Heat them up with hot water or a blow dryer. I mean, I haven't even gotten to all the other stuff that it comes with yet. I'm still gonna show off the rest of this stuff. And boop. Dang, I was really starting to really like this guy a lot too. What a shame. So he comes with 4 pistols, which is just like a lot right there. Awesome. So you can have 2 in this just his normal hands, and then 2 in his little tentacle symbiote thingies that you can stick back there. So that's just awesome. And then also 4 pistols that are just the holster versions, so you can still have them holstered in as well. And one of the coolest gun accessories I've seen come with an action figure is this grenade launcher. Like, this thing is super cool, super chunky, and just super original. Like, you get all kinds of guns and stuff with figures, but not often a big grenade launcher. They come with muzzle flashes, like really big ones too. These are crazy awesome. Like, this adds such a huge effect when you're posing with the guns, so much. And check it out, I can still kind of do some poses with a broken head, kind of, a little bit, right? Really the craziest part about this figure are all of these tentacle symbiote thingies. Like, there's so many of them, and they're all just, I'm gonna just put some in and just let them still look cool as is. Dang, that looks so cool. This just makes me more and more sad about the head, but just how freaking cool does this look? They're so posable. They've got joints all over the place. You can move them around. It's just like, there's so many possibilities with these. And they even have the ability to connect other hands on them so they can all be holding guns and stuff. Like, this is just so cool. So incredibly cool. Here's a quick comparison of the Marvel Legends Agent Venom. It's around the same kind of height, but man, he is so much bulkier. It's crazy how this is like almost a better figure than this one, kind of, almost. I mean, they're really Yamaguchi, I'm sure is. But here's a quick comparison if you're wondering. Okay, let's be real for a second here. If not for the little head incident, this guy right here would be an easy W, a huge easy W, especially for a bootleg. A $16 figure that comes with all of this stuff that looks like the... Remember, $16, $16, $16. $16 for a figure that looks like this, that comes with all of this stuff, that still has all of these crazy capabilities and stuff with these tentacle web things and all the guns, and it would be an easy W. But it's kind of hard for me to not give it an L because of the fact his head is broken. Oh! So I'm gonna have to give it an L by default, but it's crazy how badly I still want to give this a W. Like, I could go and buy 2 more of these these just in case. Pop the joint back out, put it in and switch it, and still have spent way less than a retail version of this figure, you know? And have the best of both worlds with all of my different parts of these different things. It's really up to you. I would love to know if you would still give this a W or an L or what. Please let me know. I would definitely love to know. What seemed to be a pretty great bootleg actually turned out to be a pretty big disappointment, and this is only making me want the real Yamaguchi version of this even more. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Of course, you can find me on Instagram at sir.dork, TikTok at Sirdork730, and on Twitter at Sirdork730. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.